Is the new Realme C11 stronger than the Realme C3, or does it have a weaker build? We look into all these matters and more in this video by checking for its scratch resistant quality, of its undisclosed glass protection, water resistance capability, and most importantly, the build quality of the budget Realme C11. And as you can see, there is no free case provided in the box, something which Realme stopped giving in the C series. It weighs in a bit towards the heavier side, just 1 grams more than the C3 at 196 grams, and may feel a bit heavy for those used to lighter devices. And initial impressions of the build quality also seems to be good in my usual trial bend. Realme has been consistently providing free pre-installed plastic screen protectors in all the devices, and it's also the same here with the Realme C11. Barring a few present devices, a lot of Realme devices of the past with these pre-applied plastic protectors have repeatedly failed the stress test. So in the scratch test, let's find out the scratch resistant capabilities of this unnamed tempered glass protection on the display by rubbing it with common atoms and a heavy duty blade. Those of you following the channel will be aware that many Realme devices with plastic screen protectors have been failing the blade with ugly scratch marks. The funny thing is that the blade is not supposed to scratch glass according to the Mohs scale of hardness, and here's where the blade comes to use, since it exposes poor quality glass protection. On the other hand, genuine Corning glass protection found even on the cheapest of Redmi devices easily survives the blade. As you can see from the scratch marks, it seems Realme has once again turned to cost cutting for obvious reasons on the budget Realme C11's undisclosed glass protection. Stuff to remember are that the Realme C11 is not IP68 water resistant and does not have any IP rated certification, so it will be extremely dangerous to submerge it underwater. Also, the SIM tray has no rubber seal on it, which was actually present on the Realme C3, though Realme does give some sort of proprietary splash resistance on the devices. We are checking for the presence of oleophobic coating on this unnamed tempered glass protection. The oleophobic layer helps to reduce fingerprint smudges on the display, and here its absence is proved since the water is not taking the form of droplets and rolling off the screen. In devices with oleophobic coating, the water takes the form of spherical droplets and does not stick to the glass, forming a pool. Though one good news about Realme is that almost all of its devices have generally performed awesomely well in the water test compared to competing devices which have failed. So we are expecting nothing less from the budget Realme C11 also, and hoping that Realme continues its excellent track record. A lot of unpleasant stuff may happen to non-IP rated devices during the water test. Like during the light splashing round, the Redmi Note 8 had suffered from permanent black screen issue due to motherboard damage, or the Zenfone 5Z where the display got severely damaged after heavy drenching. Apart from that, the most common effect of water on devices with no IP ingress rated water resistance is low loudness levels and audio distortion from the external speakers. which can last for a few seconds or continue for many hours, and overexposure may permanently damage the sound unit, motherboard or display unit. Fortunately, the low distorted audio on the C11 here does manage to recover just within a few seconds, signifying there is no internal damage taking place. The C11 has once again managed to keep up the great track record of Realme in our water test with no signs of liquid damage to internals. The C11 passes all stages and passes the water test also with a few seconds submerged underwater. Next up, moving on to fun stuff with value. A few of you seem to be confused about the practical use of a bend test. Well, a genuine bend test simply proves the actual real-life build quality of a device that a brand has given you for your money. And it is in fact the device which fails that pushes brands into making stronger builds for its consumers in future. There is of course some degree of flex when high amounts of pressure was applied from both sides, but it did not suffer any kind of damage. So is the Realme C11 better or worse than the Realme C3? We cannot say that the Realme C11 has outdone the Realme C3, since the C3 also had performed awesomely well in all aspects of build quality and was the strongest until now. It is just that the C11 itself has done equally good in all departments of durability and also passes the bend test with ease. Realme has managed to keep up its name with yet another strong device.